Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The View hosts have heated debate over Chrisley pardon. The View hosts all got into a heated debate on Wednesday about President Trump pardoning Todd and Julie Chrisley. The four ladies hashed it out and shared their thoughts on the situation. Lots of opinions are flying around about whether or not they deserve to be set free. What are the hosts saying? Keep reading to get all the details. There were some mixed opinions among the ladies on The View on Wednesday. Joy Behar, Sarah Haynes, Whoopi Goldberg, and Anna Navarro discussed President Trump's decision to fully pardon Todd and Julie Chrisley. The paperwork for their full and unconditional pardon was expected to be signed by the end of the day on May 28. Of course, everyone knows that these co-hosts will have strong opinions about the Chrisley Knows Best stars getting released from prison. Shockingly, the four co-hosts had different opinions about whether or not the president was right in granting the pardon. Whoopi was first to speak on the subject and asked if everyone was okay with his actions or if they were just numb to it all. Joy Behar wasted no time in sharing her view on the pardon. She said, "Well, according to this administration, if you are a reality star with a lot of money and you commit fraud, that's good. We're going to give you a pardon. But poor people on Medicaid and food stamps, according to this administration, those are the real moochers in this country." Behar continued to criticize the Trump administration, saying that Americans need to understand what is happening. She said the Chrisleys receive a pardon, but other people, who some actually know, are struggling, needing help, and are not getting it from the government. Anna Navarro said she absolutely has a problem with it. She stated that she believes that people can buy pardons if they support President Trump. Navarro also feels like this isn't normal and not ethical either. She believes people should allow this kind of behavior. As for Sarah Haynes, she feels like it's a waste of energy. She thinks there are other problems worth getting angry over, but this is not one of them. She went the route of saying everyone needs to pick their battles. As for Whoopi, she pulled out a copy of the Constitution and stated that there are just some things that Americans don't do. She also pointed out that this isn't the hosts of The View saying it. It's written down as law for all to see. There are people who have had varying opinions about the pardons. Savannah Chrisley feels her parents were given harsher sentences due to their support of President Trump. Savannah is currently busy preparing for Todd and Julie's release from prison. What do you think about the hosts of The View having their heated debate over this topic? What do you think about the Chrisley pardon? Stay tuned for more updates. The studio was buzzing even before the red, on-air light flickered on. The View said, normally a balance of pastel tones and casual morning show calm, was unusually tense. Today, the topic was controversial and deeply divisive. President's rumored consideration of a full pardon for Todd and Julie Chrisley, the reality TV stars serving prison sentences for financial crimes. "Good morning, everyone," moderator Whoopi Goldberg said, her tone carrying a warning edge that only longtime fans of the show could detect. "We've got a hot one today, so buckle up." Joy Behar leaned forward in her chair, eyes narrowed behind her glasses, already spoiling for the fight she knew was coming. "A pardon for the Chrisleys? I mean, come on. We're talking about people convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion. Millions of dollars involved. Are we seriously entertaining this?" Sunny Hostin, always composed yet never hesitant to speak her mind, lifted a hand. "Joy, hold on a second. Whether you agree with it or not, the president does have the constitutional authority to grant pardons. And let's be honest, pardons aren't always about innocence. Sometimes they're about mercy, rehabilitation." "Mercy?" Joy snapped, cutting her off. "They're on reality television bragging about their wealth while allegedly stiffing taxpayers. Mercy is for someone who stole a loaf of bread to feed their family, not someone who cheats the system while living in a mansion. A murmur of approval ran through the live studio audience, but Alyssa Farah Griffin, the conservative voice at the table, wasn't letting it slide. But Joy, this isn't just about them personally. It's also about how the justice system treats white-collar crime versus violent crime. The Chrisleys got hit with a huge sentence compared to some people who've done far worse. Shouldn't we look at proportionality? Sarah Haynes, ever the mediator, leaned in with a placating smile. Okay, let's take a step back. Are we really debating just the Chrisleys here, or are we debating how the pardon power is used? Because let's face it, presidents have pardoned worse. We're talking mobsters, corrupt politicians. Sunny nodded vigorously. Exactly, Sarah. The pardon is an executive check on the judiciary. It exists because there are cases where sentencing may be overly harsh or influenced by politics. The Chrisleys have already served significant time, and... Joy interrupted again, her voice dripping with sarcasm. Significant time? Julie's making Instagram posts about missing her grandkids, like she's some kind of political prisoner. Meanwhile, people who can't afford a decent lawyer rot in prison for decades over a tiny drug charge. Where's their pardon? The audience clapped, some cheering outright. Alyssa wasn't backing down. Joy, you're proving my point. Wealthy or not, high-profile cases often get heavier sentences to set an example. That's not justice, that's showmanship. Whoopi, who had been listening silently with her chin propped on one hand, finally sat upright. Look, I don't care if it's the Chrisleys, your next-door neighbor, or the Easter Bunny. If you break the law, you deal with the consequences. You don't get a pass because you're famous, and you don't get a harsher punishment because you're famous either. Both are wrong. Sunny tilted her head, considering. But Whoopi, would you agree the pardon power is there for moments exactly like this? Controversial moments where public opinion is divided? Yeah, Sunny, but here's the thing. Whoopi gestured dramatically, one hand cutting through the air. You use that pardon power for someone who got railroaded, someone who didn't deserve what they got. Not for folks who spent years flaunting their money and then cry foul when the IRS comes knocking. You want a pardon? Cool. Do your time, come out, and advocate for reform like everybody else. Joy clapped her hands loudly. Amen to that. Alyssa leaned back, folding her arms but refusing to concede. So let's say hypothetically, purely hypothetically, the president pardons them. Are we really saying that one signature, one stroke of a pen, can undo the court's decision? Because that's exactly how our system works. That's the rule book. Just because it can be done doesn't mean it should be done, Joy snapped, jabbing her index finger on the table for emphasis. Do you know how many average Americans are sitting in prison right now wishing they had a reality TV platform to cry their innocence on? You think they're getting a White House pardon? Sarah's voice, softer but firm, cut through. Can I just say, I don't think this is really about the Chrisleys. I think it's about celebrity culture and how we all, to some degree, love seeing a comeback story. If they get pardoned, you know they're going straight back to TV, writing a book, maybe even hosting their own redemption talk show. America loves that. Maybe that's why this is getting traction in the first place.